Do you think anybody's ever done a mukbang drinking water? I don't know. Gonna do one today though because my throat is so dry. That's really annoying. I'm not gonna do that the whole time. Hey guys, it's Stephanie and I'm going to be talking about some plant stuff today as usual. But this is actually something that has been interesting me, and so I thought that since I'm looking up this information anyway, that this may be helpful to some of you. And you know, obviously, not obviously, but if you have watched any of the videos on my channel pretty much, you would know that I'm very into natural living and just using as few chemicals as possible and being sustainable and all of those things. So I wanted to do a video about different things that you can use in your house. So common household safe, non-toxic things that you can use to feed and fertilize your plants. So these are all pretty simple things, and more than likely you have a number of them. And I'm also going to be doing another video talking about common deficiencies in plants. So these two will kind of tie together, so I recommend watching both. But no, I really actually do, because I'm going to be talking about the things that you can use today, but the other video is going to be talking about how to recognize those particular deficiencies in your plants, so that you know now what to feed them and you know what they are. So does that make sense? Hopefully. But let's just get into the things today. So there are some common, simple, basic things that plants need to grow and live and survive, just like human beings. They need nutrients, but I found this information to be interesting and helpful, so hopefully you do as well. I'm gonna try to finish this throughout the video. Alright, so I made a handy little list here of different things that we can use throughout our house. So I'm going to go through this list with you guys. So the first household item that you can use to that you can use to feed or take care of your plants is white vinegar. Vinegar is acidic, and so it can help change the pH of your soil. So depending on, of course, what kind of plant that you have. When you are making something more acidic, you are lowering the pH. So if you need to lower the pH of your soil, white vinegar is an easy, handy thing that you can use. Banana peels are another thing that can be used in plants. So if you have a potassium deficiency, you can use pieces of banana peel and bury them in the soil, and those will naturally release potassium into the soil over time. Bananas have a lot of other nutrients besides potassium, but you know, that's like what they are known for. So if you are targeting potassium, bananas would be a good thing to use. And this is also not to say that you should only be giving these things to your plants when they are deficient. Plants need food in general to grow and thrive and survive. So it's not a bad idea to put these things in your plants anyway when you have them. I mean, you don't want to fill up your soil with a whole bunch of organic composting material, but you know, it's not a bad idea to throw some of these things in your soil every once in a while, just to either supplement fertilizer that you're already using, or just to use in place of a plant food or fertilizer, something that you're just doing all the time anyway. So you can also use eggshells in your soil, and as eggshells naturally break down, they will provide your plants with a lot of calcium. So I'm sure you probably know eggshells have a lot of calcium. As they break down in the soil, that's what they are going to release, and that is something that is essential for plants to live and grow. Remember these? This has just turned into a regular mukbang now. I'm gonna eat the whole bag. I think I've gotten like 10 other people addicted to these things. They gotta keep making them, so you guys will have to go out and buy them so that they know that they're in demand. So anyway, back to the plants. So ashes from your fireplace are a good thing to use in your soil. And I think you really only want to use wood ash from this. I'm not sure that charcoal is going to be a good thing to use. So this is more if you have like a wood burning fireplace, or if you are camping. But what I read is actually just sprinkling a light layer of the ash over your soil is a perfect way to offer potassium and calcium to a needy little plant. So there you go. If you happen to have access to some wood ash. Coffee grounds. Coffee grounds actually have a lot of nutrients. They help release nitrogen into the soil. They also have a lot of antioxidants. Of course, we all know coffee has antioxidants. It has potassium and according to my notes. Oh, and potassium and magnesium. I already said potassium, but it also has magnesium. One thing to keep in mind though is that coffee beans do have acidity, so they can affect the pH of your soil. So if you're tracking that, or if that's something that's important to you, just keep that in mind. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish that whole thing. Do you boil your potatoes for Sunday roast? That's what I actually copied that in my notes, in my research. I copied that sentence. Gotta have that introduction. Well, use the water from your potatoes that you boiled to water your plants. Potatoes have potassium, phosphorus, zinc, and magnesium. I'm sure they have a lot of other nutrients also, but those in particular, all good for plants. And an easy way to water your plants is just to use the cooled potato water. So it makes obvious sense. Don't waste water, use nutrient water. So seaweed, and this is actually something that has been recommended to me by a viewer slash commenter. I don't know what to call that, but someone left me a comment one time suggesting that I use, I think, kelp extract, which is seaweed, in my plants. Seaweeds are high in potassium. They have a lot of other nutrients, of course. Like, everything has more than one nutrient. Things are not just a single nutrient source. So high in potassium, so if that's something that your plants are lacking, maybe looking into a kelp extract or some kind of a seaweed solution would be a good idea. Notes that I have say to mix seaweed in water and let it sit for a few months. I feel like that's a little bit excessive, so I'm sure there's a shortcut around that. Probably can just steep some seaweed and that would be fine, I would imagine, or just put the seaweed in your soil. I don't understand why that wouldn't work. Anyway. So pine needles, if you live in an area like me where you have a lot of pine trees around, which I know doesn't apply to a good majority of the world, but it does apply to some of us, pine needles can help also be a supply of nitrogen to your soil. So if that's something that your plant is lacking, you can sprinkle them on top or kind of mix them into the soil to help give your plant a little bit of nitrogen boost. Now, along with coffee and I forget the other thing that I said, vinegar, that is going to adjust the pH of your soil, so just something to keep in mind. Now, if you don't want to put eggshells directly in your water, but you are the kind of person that likes boiled eggs, I don't know what I mean by the kind of person, but if you are a person that likes boiled eggs, you can use the water that you use to boil your eggs in and use that to water your plants when it's cooled, and that will help supply them with a little extra calcium and probably some other nutrients as well. Now, the last tip is not necessarily a food or fertilizer, but just something that I found very interesting and kind of relates to what I'm drinking today. So I actually read that you can water your plants with club soda. This is not club soda, so it's like kind of relevant, but not really. Club soda, there's club soda, tonic water, seltzer water, like all these different things that are actually all different. So you do want to make sure that club soda is actually what you're buying. But it is believed that one of the reasons is because of some micronutrients in the club soda. But for some reason, it tends to make plants a little bit greener and grow faster. So students, actually, I don't know if it was students, researchers at the University of Colorado Boulder, look this up, did a study where they gave plants carbonated water, and the plants grew 170% of their original height compared to just 67% of the plants. I said that wrong. Just 67% of the height of plants that were given tap water. That's a lot. That's like almost 3 times more growth from the plants that were given the carbonated water versus the plants that were given tap water. They also tended to be stronger, happier, and brighter green, so things that all of us want. Excuse me. I actually read a lot of articles that suggested watering your plants with club soda, and some of them said it has something to do with the carbonation helping the plants' roots actually absorb more nutrients. So I don't, you know, it doesn't really matter why, it just matters that it works. So we should all just give it a try and see if it works. If you have tried it, let me know in the comments below. Have any other household items that you know of or that you use to take care of your plants? I would love to hear about that below, or anything that you've had success with. I definitely would like to know if anyone has actually used club soda and found success with that. I haven't started doing that yet, but I'm kind of thinking about it. I just hate wasting plastic, you know? I want to buy a plastic bottle just to water my plants when I can just use my water at home. Torn, you know? But anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. And I did not finish my water. Does that mean I just have to keep talking until I finish? Just kidding. So I failed at that, but hopefully you guys find these tips to be helpful. If you like this video and this information, please give this video a like. I would appreciate it. And remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get updates whenever I post new videos. Oh, wait. There's a huge eagle flying outside my house right now. What? I think it's hunting something. Anyway, lost my train of thought. So subscribe and turn on notifications because I'm not really on a posting schedule right now. I'm posting a few times a month, but not anything specific. So if you want to be notified, make sure you turn on notifications. You can find me over on Instagram at SimpleCareSteph if you would like to follow me over there. I post a lot of food stuff, and thank you guys so much for watching today. I appreciate it as always, and I will see you next time.